So I'm outside enjoying the weather, being pestered by a fly. So you're going to see me swatting at it quite a bit. Enjoying my time with my dogs. And I have something on my mind that I need to get off my chest. I love colloquialisms, especially when they make really nonsensical combinations like that. I have something on my mind. I need to get it off my chest. So, for those of you that follow me on Twitter when I had an account, you knew very well that objectivism was my philosophy. Metaphysics was reality. Epistemology was reason. Um, Politics was capitalism. Aesthetics is romantic reality. Yeah, I'm an objectivist. And part of objectivism is a conflict that is inherent to the world, which is positivism versus negativism. And I want to go into a little bit of detail about that because I get questioned about that. Let's be honest, it's more ridicules by people who don't understand it, who claim they understand it, and prove that they really don't understand it. People hear the words positivism and negativism, and they automatically assume that positivism means that you're a positive person, you're always going to say nice things, right things, you're always going to be happy, blah, 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 blah. And that negativists are the people who are always going to be downright nasty, lying, dirty, filthy cheats, and they never have anything nice to say. And you really couldn't be further from the truth on either count. A positivist is someone who identifies and recognizes objective reality as something that is knowable, learnable. They accept reality as it is, and they make their decisions based on reality. And their decisions are going to typically be have positive outcomes. They're going to be good decisions. They're informed decisions. Of course, nobody's flawless. Sometimes you make mistakes. We're all human. Our brains have this nasty habit of sometimes misinterpreting things. It happens. A negativist is someone who evades reality. And in some cases, they may deny it. They usually don't. Sometimes they will, but they evade reality. So they don't accept reality, and they don't make decisions based on reality. So their decisions continuously have unintended consequences. We're seeing some of that all the time. Every year, every year, there's always something, always some unintended consequences. Now, I'm going to give a couple of quick examples as to what these unintended consequences are. Right now, a few states now have mandatory no bail laws because bail is class warfare. Now, you may argue that the people that championed this and came up with the idea knew absolutely what they were getting into, and I agree. Some of them really did know what they were saying and going for, and the consequences are quite intentional. But I would say the bulk of the people that backed it did not think it through because they don't think things through because they are negativists. Negativists do as they are told. They don't think. Look at the way our school systems are designed. They teach you what to think, not how to think. They tell you to regurgitate answers in order to pass. They don't tell you to critically think and come up with your own answers in order to pass. Well, now we have people who are getting arrested multiple times a day for the same damn crime because they can. Some cities have no response for police, like for shoplifting. So you have people that are walking into stores with garbage bags, clearing the shelves, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. I mean, the business owner could pull a gun and shoot them. Self-defense, defense of your property and your livelihood is a legitimate use of lethal force. Whether you do it or not, that's entirely up to you. But I'm neither condemning it nor condoning it. Just saying, realistically, that's what it is. Hey, Freckle. Yeah, unintended consequences. I mean, we've been having that stuff forever now. Now, you may be asking yourself, are you a positivist or a negativist? Everybody wants to be a positivist. It sounds good, right? Well, there's a couple of quick tests that you can do to find out where you lie. See, a positivist and a negativist differ in some very, very key ways. For example, abstract concepts. Negativists will claim that they are good with abstracts, but they really, really suck at it. Try to get a negativist to define an abstract concept, and they'll fail. And if you haven't tried it before, it is hard. It is really hard. But as long as you are trying and you're not just giving examples, you are legitimately trying and struggling and trying to wrap your head around what an abstract concept is to define it, you're on the right path. There's not necessarily any right answers, but there's a lot of wrong answers. So, for example, what is beauty? Remember, it's not an example. A negativist, I've seen it personally, one said, freshly fallen snow. I mean, that's a good example of beauty. I think freshly fallen snow is beautiful. I hate snow. I love looking at freshly fallen snow. When the trees are coated, the ground is coated, and it's all unbroken, it's beautiful. Even if it's still falling, just how quiet the world is. I absolutely love it. I just hate living in it. Another person said a rose in full bloom. Yeah, you know what that is? Beautiful. But that is not what beauty is. It's just an example. So I challenge you. What is beauty? And I'll come back to this at the end of the video and give you the definition that someone gave me. And I have to agree, it's a really good definition. I still haven't come up with my own definitive answer to the question, but I like this answer. I really like this answer. And it could very well be my answer. That's one I've thought about a lot. I know there's a lot of abstracts I constantly have running around in my head that I'm working on. Just because one person said that's the answer doesn't mean that that's the answer. I have to come to my own conclusion. Negativists will argue using nothing but logical fallacies. A lot of circular arguments. They eventually just always come around to the same thing, and then they turn around and accuse you of, you always answer the same thing. Well, yeah, you keep making the same stupid claims and asking the same stupid questions. Of course you're going to get the same answers. Stupid. But here's another good example. This example, yeah, I even put this out in a group, and I get people groaning over it. So the positivists groan over it because they know that I'm opening a can of worms that's just going to last for a few days. If you have a red ball in your hands and you're in natural light and you walk into a pitch black room and close the door so there is zero light sources in there at all, you have no light. The visible spectrum of light, those wavelengths, do not exist. And you never lose control of the ball. What color is the ball? A positivist will answer, it's red. Nothing's changed other than the light source. Freckle! No. Sorry about that. Dog was trying to play with something that she's not supposed to. She's just a puppy. She's brand new to the house. She's only been here for a couple of days. She's still learning. But she's a very good girl. Now, if you leave the room through the same way you came in, or even through another door, but you go out back into natural light, like this is just a shed in the middle of a field. You leave natural light to enter the shed. You leave the shed to go back into natural light. What color is the ball going to be? A positivist will absolutely say the entire time the ball is red. The ball is red. It was red even in the pitch black. It was still red. The qualities and properties of the ball never changed. The only thing that changed was the light source, whether it was reflecting off of it or not. That's it. A negativist will argue that you can't be sure. The intellectual negativist, the smart negativists, the really brainy ones. Because according to a negativist, you can't be certain of anything. And they're certain of that. Yeah, let that irony sink in. A negativist will say you can't know reality. You can only know models of reality with varying degrees of accuracy. But since you can't know reality, you can't know if the models are accurate or how accurate they are. So you live in a literal contradiction of knowledge. You're teaching you can't know anything. Knowledge is unattainable. And you go to college in order to learn that you can't learn anything. You go to college to know that you don't know anything. You can't know anything. Insanity. So, what exactly is my philosophy? I don't remember if I said it on this video or not. I had to delete a video because I dropped the F-bomb, and yeah, YouTube won't allow that, so I had to start over. So basically, if I haven't said it already, I will do it now, and if I have, okay, I'm sorry, I repeated myself. Deal with it. Metaphysics. Reality. Epistemology. Reason. Politics. Capitalism. Aesthetics. Romanticized reality. These are all parts of the philosophy. You might be wondering why all that stuff's all metaphysics. That includes everything. You know, when you say reality, it includes the physical, the properties thereof, things like the laws of physics. Yeah, they're pretty metaphysical. Reason is the one thing that mankind has over all creatures on Earth. We have the ability to reason. Why capitalism? Well, here's where negativists love to convolute what capitalism is. They always claim they know what capitalism is. And then they turn around and they describe cronyism or corporatism. Sorry, but capitalism is capitalism. Cronyism is cronyism. Corporatism is corporatism. A is A. Capitalism, according to the capitalist, puts individual natural rights above all else. The negatives will claim it's profits. No, it's not. Not even close. Individual natural rights. Your ability to operate your life the way that you wish and make your way in life the way that you wish, as long as you are not violating the rights of others, you will succeed. As long as, you're doing the right thing. That's basically how it works out. I know it's really, there's a lot more to it than that. This is just like the 10,000-foot view. Now, in order to make sure that natural individual rights are protected, you need a government that its only job is to protect natural individual rights. And all rights are negative rights. It means that you don't have a right of possession. You don't have a right to property. You have a right to seek property. You have a right to action. There is no right to health care. There is a right to seek health care. There is no right to shelter. You have a right to seek shelter. Anything that requires the labor of others is not a natural right. You have the right to keep and bear arms. You don't have a right to arms. If you had a right to arms, they would just be provided for you, grow the gun tree that everyone has access to. That's not the way it is. Someone actually has to manufacture it. Today, a lot of someones have to manufacture it. And they need to get compensation for their work. Fair compensation. Now, when you have a government that protects natural rights, they are purely reactive. No regulations. The instant you have regulations is the instant you have regulators. The instant you have regulators is the instant you have people on the market that a company can buy in order to give themselves an unfair advantage. That is cronyism. Do you have any doubts in your mind if the Waltons have a few politicians in their pockets to keep them protected in order to get money taken from hardworking individuals in the forms of tax breaks, tax credits, and loans, and dividends, and God, subsidies, all that good stuff, in order to give them an unfair advantage against other companies? Is there any doubt? So what is the difference between corporatism and cronyism? It's who's in control overall. If the government has power, it's cronyism. If the corporations have the power and they dictate to the government, you have corporatism. Obamacare is a very good example of corporatism. Never in the history of the US have people been required to purchase something from a private entity. That is corporatism. That is a corporate police state. Still working on what is beauty? I hope so. Other examples that you might be a negativist. Now we're getting a delivery right now. Oh well. In Japan and some other Asian countries, green is considered a shade of blue. So, if you start talking about, how here in the US and in most Western countries, the grass is green. Over in some Asian countries, they consider the grass blue, just a shade of blue. So if you ask a negativist about a green screen and you take it to say Japan, what color is the green screen when you get to Japan? Negativists will argue that it's blue. And you say, but does the green screen itself actually change what frequency of light is reflected off of it? They'll ignore that question and keep arguing, well, it's blue because in Japan, blue is considered a shade of green. And they'll keep arguing that point, and they'll evade the smoking gun questions and try to gaslight you. Endlessly trying to gaslight you. And they endlessly straw man. But when I say that my rational self-interest, oh yeah, that was one part of the philosophy. I forgot which one that was, but self-interest is a major part of it. But if I turn around and say that it is my rational self-interest that matters more to me than anybody else, you're going to get so you're greedy and you're selfish and you think that you should be allowed to keep everything that you earn. Well, the answer is yes. I absolutely should be allowed to keep everything that I earn. But we live in a society. Well, society cannot be a victim. Society is a collective. Collectives do not have rights. Collectives are not living beings. They are a concept. They are a social structure. Don't give them power. My rational self-interest matters the most to me. In my rational self-interest, I also realize that helping the people around me to a better life also helps me to a better life. So, freckle! So I'm more than happy to try to help those around me. If you ever worked with me, you know I'm a hell of a team player. I'm a big team cheerleader. I help everybody out around me because everyone benefits when everyone is better. I benefit too. If I'm the best at what I do and I don't help others to get up to my level, I get stuck with a hell of a lot of work that I don't want to do. And if everybody's doing well, then we get a lot of extra time to ourselves to do things that we enjoy while at work, things that can also help make our jobs better. I'm not being selfish. I'm not being greedy. I'm just looking at my own rational self-interest. Benefits you? Cool. I'm not out to hurt you. If I was out to hurt you, I'd be violating your rights. And that'd be a violation of my own philosophy. Can't do that. So what does a capitalist government look like? You would still have your legislature, but they wouldn't be in session all year long. You still have your three branches of government. It's a brilliant system. You still have the electoral college, is absolutely brilliant. Is it perfect? No, but it sure is better than pure democracy. Holy hell. The government only reacts to rights violations. So you would still have your judiciary, you still have your law enforcement, and you still have your military. Just because our country would be peaceful, reactionary only, interested in nothing but trade and mutual self-interest and mutual benefits, doesn't mean that other countries will respect that. So we have to be ready to protect ourselves to keep that in mind. Just like with individuals, we still need law enforcement because there's some people that won't respect that. C'est la vie. So what is beauty? So there was more that I wanted to say, but I'm running out of time. My batteries just went boop, boop, boop. So I got to hurry up and finish this up. So what is beauty? The answer I was given is beauty is anything that you see that reflects your core philosophy and morals. So that freshly fallen snow. With my morality, I love purity. I do. I really do. I love things that are pristine. I love the symmetry of it all. You know, there's also a lot of asymmetry in it, which is natural. Therefore, freshly fallen snow falls along those. Just like I can see a tastefully done nude and love it because I can see that the woman is confident, comfortable, in control, and knows that she has full power in her situation. I'm not looking at it for the nude body. I see her at her most vulnerable, showing that she is comfortable in that. That is power. That is beautiful. Watching my kids play, their innocence, their learning, their growth with their fine motor skills and gross motor skills and their communication skills. Personal growth is what I see, and that's beautiful. So yeah, I'll leave you with that. I may do this again. I don't know. Toodles.